Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. We have eclipsed. I don't even know if I want to use that word. Sounds kind of weird. We have made it into week 11 of the fantasy football season. Week 11. That means if you're in a good league, a normal league, where you play 16 weeks, you only have 6 total games left.
That's not a lot.
That's not a lot of games. So if you're out at this point, I realize this week, if you're out, you're out. Hey, you got 2 wins. Your season's probably over at this point.
Yeah.
Do you have any teams with only 2 wins?
I have one with 3. So I'm probably out.
I have. Yeah, all of them have 5 wins.
In every league that you're in?
Yeah, or more.
What about our sleeper league?
Which one is that?
The 12 team?
I think I won that week. Or no, maybe it's 4 wins.
Yeah, I don't think you have 5.
I don't know. But anyway, it's week 11. Stop bringing my failures forward, Rick.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just...
No, you're always going to have one league that you completely blow in.
Yeah, but the league I have 3 wins in is the league that I didn't draft anyone.
It's not working?
No, I still have 3 wins, though.
Oh, snap. It is Tuesday, November 12th. My name is Morgan Colby. I got Rick Lemon right across from me. Today, we got a lot to get to, per normal, on a Tuesday morning. Waiver wire ads, streaming options, quick reactions. We'll start with the news, but before we get into that, be sure to check out our website at thefantasychampions.com. Like us on Twitter or follow us on Twitter at the FFChamps. Follow us on Instagram at The Fantasy Champions. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Fantasy Champions. Subscribe wherever you're listening currently right now. Pause the podcast and go subscribe, and then leave a review, and then click the bell on notifications on YouTube for notifications on YouTube, and share this podcast with your friends. Let's get to the news. There is not a lot of news, and I'm probably missing a significant portion of news.
Yeah.
But this is what I have.
Okay.
If there's something missing, tell me.
Okay. You say that every week, and then I just never do.
Yeah, it's true. The Bengals say they're going to reassess A.J. Green's ankle this week. It is listed that now he is day-to-day, when last week it was reported that he was out indefinitely. He had a relapse in his recovery. So I drafted A.J. Green, and I've been holding on to him far too long. When is too long? When do you say... I mean, if you made it this far...
I guess you
gotta
gotta leave
just
him in the
leave
IR spot.
yeah,
But
leave
if you
him
don't have an
there.
IR spot, do you just cut him at this point?
I think if you made it this far, you would hold on to him. But if you see him on your waiver wire, I'd pick him up and just hold him. But I just don't know. Like, you have a rookie quarterback in Ryan Finley, who I haven't even seen his numbers yet. But you have a rookie quarterback now that's running the team, and for AJ Green. The optics aren't good for him. Like, I don't know. This is not really a good situation.
Yeah.
But Tyler Boyd, before he did get hurt, had a decent showing before he did end up getting hurt in the game. So, I mean, maybe A.J. Green does have some hope, but I just don't know what the fantasy outlook is for him anymore. And, like, at this point, you kind of need those roster spots.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I don't know what I'd do if I owned him. I do own him in one league, but I'm just going to say screw it and hold on to him. There's like 7 roster spots, so... There's 7 bench slots.
If you have that many slots, I'd probably just hold on to him.
But I'm not even sure he's IR abled, if that's what you want to say. I'm not sure he can be put on IR unless your league allows players to be put on IR when they're out. I don't know. But AJ Green, I don't know what to do with him. Devonta Freeman, he will undergo a MRI on his foot after hurting it in last week's game. If you are still holding on to Devonta Freeman in hopes that he can be a full-time starter, you're probably sorely mistaken. His schedule is brutal at the end of the season.
Is it?
I didn't even know what the foot scan or whatever it is he's going to get. He has like 2 good matchups left, and neither of them plays in the playoffs.
He was actually doing pretty good against the Saints while he was out there.
He was?
Yeah.
When did he get hurt?
Because
He only had 6 points.
It was like late second quarter.
Oh
almost.
Lord! So he might have had a good game.
Yeah.
All
no,
right.
he was doing. He had like a 12-yard run.
Yeah.
And had some nice plays.
Interesting. Giovanni Bernard, I don't even know I put this in here, but he suffered a sprained knee in Sunday's Week 10 matchup. If you do have Joe Mixon, that probably means he'll get slightly more work, but I'm not sure that's a good thing. Austin Hooper will undergo an MRI on his injured knee, and he's expected to miss multiple weeks. That's highly unfortunate. I hope that it's not serious.
Yeah, I hope it's not serious either.
If we get breaking news in the middle of the show about Austin Hooper, we will bring it to you. But I don't know nothing other than they're doing an MRI. The Jets.
You can call them the Juds.
Yeah, we can call them the Jets. Adam Gase said, this is, you know what? For the sake of honoring Chris Herndon, we will continue to mention him on the Waiver Wire show. Every single Waiver Wire show for the rest of the season. Even though Herndon is now out for an extended amount of time with a rib injury.
Probably out for the year.
Yeah, he's probably out for the season. So
after one game.
The breakout of Chris Herndon, is gone.
Isn't that funny? We waited all season. He's on the waiver
mentioned
wire
him every
all year.
week. Every week since the suspension.
You should pick up Chris Herndon. Like, you should pick up Chris Herndon every single week. He finally gets his opportunity to play. I think he had a catch in the first quarter. He was like, okay, all right,
go.
Here we go. And then, boom, out for the year.
Wow. Yeah. Ryan Griffin is on your waiver wire, maybe. We've been pushing him away for quite a few weeks because of Chris Herndon. But with him gone, does Ryan Griffin become a good ad?
I think now he should join Chris Herndon on the waiver wire ad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll mention Chris Herndon / Ryan Griffin. Ryan Griffin's new name is Chris Herndon. Washington Redskins coach Bill Callahan said Dwayne Haskins is going to start for the rest of the season. So everyone with Terry McLaurin shares, you can now panic. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, this was on Sunday. I love when Adam Schefter reports news on Sunday morning because for some reason that's the only time he can ever report news during the week is on Sunday.
He has every other day off.
But he said Antonio Brown. Now, we haven't mentioned Antonio Brown on this podcast in quite a while. He said that Antonio Brown is not expected to play again this season. 20 minutes later, this was followed up with another tweet by Antonio Brown's agent that said after he meets with the league on Wednesday, he will potentially be cleared by the NFL of any wrongdoing, is what they're claiming. Oh. And that he's going to try to sign with a team after that point. You probably have Antonio Brown on your waiver wire. I have no idea what this means. I don't have any idea as to whether or not he's going to be available. What I do know is don't pick him up. Wait until Wednesday. If he does get cleared, I'm assuming that he'll sign with an NFL team. I don't know who it'll be. I don't know what psychopath is going to pick him up. And if it's a terrible team, then I would stay away. But it's good that it's after waivers.
Yes.
So you can maybe get him for free. But there's going to be a lot of people that pick up Antonio Brown if they don't already own him in your league. A person in our personal league just dropped Antonio Brown.
Oh, he did just drop him. Okay. He's been holding on to him all year.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with Brown or what team. Do you think if he's cleared, he goes back to New England, or do you burn that bridge too much?
I think that bridge is burned.
Because it seems like he really wanted to be in New England, but then when they took his money away, he got pissed off, and then he said some things he regretted, and then he wants to come back. Because all of his social media posts, everything points to New England. He kind of wants to be here, but now he's burning the bridges. But with the Patriots, I think Bill and Brady would be very interested in bringing him back.
Oh yeah, it's just Robert Kraft.
Yeah, it depends on Robert Kraft, but I don't know where Antonio Brown's going to sign. I don't know if he's going to sign. His agent says there is a real possibility that he plays this year. Adam Schefter is saying that there isn't. So it's a battle of the minds at this point.
I'd probably say
he's not going to play.
Yeah,
I would say no.
Yeah.
I would agree with Adam Schefter. I want to know who that Adam's sources are. But anyway, there is a real chance that Cam Newton, who is reportedly going under the knife to get his foot surgically repaired, there's a real chance that he gets traded this offseason. They said that the Carolina Panthers want to move on, and that they're going to try to trade him.
Do they really believe in Kyle Allen that much?
I don't know.
It seems like it, or else they wouldn't be trying to move on. I like Kyle Allen, but is he a franchise quarterback?
See, like last week you were struggling with who was better, and now you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I mean,
I don't know. I think they're just done with the situation.
Everything about Cam Newton.
Where does he go?
I really don't know.
Where would you like to see him go?
I mean, I'm a Pats fan. So.
Oh god. Yeah, Brady retires. Bring him to New England.
Oh, I would like to see him with the Pats, but I think honestly, here's one that probably won't get mentioned, but
yeah,
I would like to see him with the Chargers.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I think Phillip Rivers is
38 years old,
probably done, and then they could do a lot of stuff that
that's actually a really good spot.
That Baltimore does, where they can run the football a lot.
Very similar, yeah.
Yeah, play a similar style.
And then you got Tua coming into the league too. This is gonna get crazy. This new NFL is. I
already put Tua on the Bengals since the Dolphins keep winning.
He's just there. Yeah, this is. You got Kyler Murray. This is. Maybe we'll. Do you have any other news notes?
Not to my knowledge, but I said that last time, and I did. So, but not to my knowledge.
All right. Well, just let me know, and I'll figure it out. I just want to move straight into our quick reactions. So we'll start off with this because it popped into my head and I want to talk about it. It is ridiculous the amount of I'm starting to realize this. The NFL, which quarterbacks like Cam Newton spent so long trying to change the NFL into this new style, and it just never worked, right? And now you have Kyler Murray succeeding as a quarterback, running all over the place like a wild man. Lamar Jackson, he's changing the NFL with every, like you thought Mahomes was changing the NFL last year with the plays that he was making. People were making no-look passes. Now, Lamar Jackson is literally going to change the way the quarterback position is played with the way that he's playing. Like,
wait, so this is coming from the same guy.
Now you get Tua, who's going to come in next year, run all over the field.
I was going to say, this comes from the same guy, though.
I don't know if I like this.
Over the last few years has said, running quarterbacks don't work. I hate running quarterbacks. They're terrible.
I just want
to see. And now here you are. Lamar Jackson is changing the way the NFL is played.
Here's the thing. I want to see it more than 1 year because, I mean, for fantasy purposes, it excites me. Like, outside of fantasy football, I like old school, throw the football down the field like the way the NFL is played, like with the Aaron Rodgerses of the world.
That's not really, that's like modern old school.
Yeah, that's true.
Early 2000s.
But even Mahomes. Like, Mahomes he can get out of the pocket, but he doesn't run. He doesn't run out.
Yeah, he doesn't really run that much.
He runs out of the pocket, and he's a pocket.
He can run if he has to, but he usually stays in the pocket.
So, for me, I don't know. I mean, you have to see. This always happens. You get this ridiculous quarterback that comes in, and then this next level person that runs the ball all over the field. You remember Robert Griffin III?
Oh yeah,
yeah, and he's just like electric, and everyone loves him, and then he almost wins MVP. And then the next year, these defensive coordinators are like, "All right, this is the NFL. This isn't college football anymore. Let's figure it out." And then the guy gets stopped, and he breaks a rib, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's usually how this works. We'll see if that is what continues. But this whole athletic quarterback thing is becoming because I mean, you look at guys like Andrew Luck, and you look at guys like
poor man
not Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger. Right? All these guys. They're just not athletic at all. Rodgers can run, but not to the level
Luck
of
could too, actually.
A little bit. But I mean, like, compared to
Phillip Rivers could not move. Drew Brees could not really move.
Compared to what guys do now.
Yeah. Eli Manning couldn't really move.
Anyway, that's what I noticed this week with the not necessarily with Tua, but the elite level running that they now have in the NFL. Would you say Kyler Murray, with that impressive, we'll start with the Cardinals, that impressive performance from Kyler Murray, Christian Kirk, and not David Johnson. We'll talk about him in a second. But like the impressive performance that entire team had, do you think that the what is it called? The air raid offense works in the NFL, or is this just like a
I think it can work. They also played the Buccaneers though.
He's like
who have absolute they've been decent against the run, but overall have stunk on defense this year. But they did do okay against San Francisco, I think.
Yeah.
Didn't they get like 20 points?
I think something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say yeah, for the most part. Does that mean they're going to, like the Cardinals are going to win a lot of games? Probably not, but for fantasy purposes,
Right.
I think it's a good thing for Kyler Murray and Christian Kirk.
Cliff Kingsbury when he was coaching in college, he had one of the most prolific passing attacks in college football. His problem, I think he won one game his last year as a head coach in college. And the reason why he completely blew and couldn't win games is because his defense was always so bad.
Yeah.
So the success of the Cardinals is probably going to be fully on the defensive coordinators and Cliff Kingsbury figuring out how to do defense. I mean, they won 3 games in the NFL, so I guess we'll see. It's not. So I want to talk about David Johnson. He had a very terrible game.
Okay. Yeah, that's to say
I wanted to look up snap shares, didn't get a chance to. I'll look it up now. But what do you like? Was this just David Johnson had a back and an ankle injury, and we wanted to ease him back in, so we're gonna give him half the snaps? They gave. Do you know what the touch total was between Kenyon Drake and David Johnson?
What was it?
16 touches for Kenyon Drake, 6 for David Johnson.
Oh.
Is that a theme, or is that them easing David Johnson back into the system?
I mean,
this
is
I'm
so
losing
tough
my voice over
to
here.
say because it could honestly be a theme. It feels like it's a theme. But it's his first game back from the injury.
Right.
So they also very well could have just eased him into it. The thing is, when he was out there, he was terrible too, though. He had 5 carries for 2 yards and had a fumble.
That's very true. He did kind of blow.
So, and Kenyon Drake has been good when he's out there. I think if this keeps it up,
right,
we might see a switch.
Yeah, I'm pulling up.
I do want to know what the
snap counts for the game, the percentages. Oh, my thing's broken. It just loaded, and then it was like, nope, don't. All right, here we go.
Doesn't want to work.
Doesn't want to work. Because so the snap count for week 9.
It was 10.
Was 48.
Are you looking at week 9?
I'm sorry, week 10.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have week 10 yet.
Well, there.
Whatever, that doesn't
There
help.
you go.
Yeah. Never mind, people. Forgive us. But yeah, I'm curious to see that information when I do figure out what it is. Because I'm very concerned that David Johnson.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't like here's the thing. I am one to want to look at more than one game. David Johnson's had one snap 3 weeks ago when they said he was going to go full strength, and then played in one snap, and then he didn't play the rest of the game. Didn't play for 2 weeks after that, and then came back. And in this game, he kind of sucked, and he wasn't efficient, and he didn't get a lot of touches. So for me, as a fantasy football person, I have the luxury of owning David Johnson in a league, in our league, without the need to start him. So I don't have to start him for the next couple weeks. Do you start him next week and hold your breath that he has a good week?
I don't think I do.
Or do you sit him down
unless I have to
and wait one more week before you start panicking?
Because he plays San Francisco this week.
Yeah,
in San Fran.
That's a tough matchup. I would say there isn't a need to. There's cause for concern, but there isn't a need to panic on David Johnson yet. If he has,
it's like if you panic at a 10,
no,
it's at like a 9.5 for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
So like,
no, and that's understandable. I just don't like to make quick judgment calls.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
On 1 week.
I'm not
if he comes
dropping
out
him or anything, but
for me, the way that I look at it is I'm not really concerned about the efficiency. You know, he's not going to be very good against San Francisco or very good. What concerns me is the touch counts. If he goes out next week and Kenyon Drake has 18 touches and he has 5, then yeah, that's 10 alarm. You know, what the hell's going on with David Johnson? But right now, I'm not really super like. It could be a game that he was eased back in. The last sucky game he had was in week 2 against Baltimore, where he had 7 fantasy points. He had in that game, I think he had 7 rushes for 14 yards and a touchdown, and he had 1 reception for like 6 yards. So he had a terrible game.
Lucky to get 7 points.
It was pretty bad. But I don't know if that's just because they were playing in that game against Tampa, and Arizona was just throwing it all over the field.
It was a battle between the two teams just throwing the football all over the place.
So for me personally, I wouldn't panic yet. Rick says to go put him on 9.5.
I would say
alarm.
I am super close.
So you're not you're benching him this week though.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% panicking, but like I said, I'm like 90-something%.
He's like 95% there. Yeah, so it is concerning that he did. I just don't know. Like, you have a running back that talented. Why would you not?
Well, unless
even if you want to split snaps, I'm okay with that.
If they think Kenyon Drake's been just better, or David Johnson has blown.
Understandable. The good part is that I own both. I just don't like I don't, as a fantasy football person, I hate when coaches do this. And it's like, choose a guy. Like, don't screw around. That's
the NFL, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So, did you have any quick reactions from the week that you wanted to mention?
By the way, you didn't send me the show notes.
Oh, forgive me.
So I'm just kind of chilling right now.
Yeah, you were looking. At your phone like I did send them to you. So
yeah,
there you go.
I was kind of anticipating a big week from Ronald Jones, and he did have 18 fantasy points and a half PPR.
Yep.
So he had a good week, but the 11 carries for 29 yards.
Matt Stafford play or no?
No, he didn't. He might be out for a while.
Oh boy. They said he wanted to play and he was standing on the sidelines.
That's because he has never. I don't think he's missed a game in his career.
Oh wow.
Before this, but
freaking Patricia.
It's like I heard that it's like a legitimate. He's listed as day to day, so he'll probably or day to day, week by week type thing.
Yeah.
And he will probably play this week, but I think I heard somewhere that the injury is serious enough that he could realistically he's not going to, but he could if he wanted to realistically sit out the whole season.
Oh wow.
But it's Matt Stafford, so he'll probably be back next week.
He is a psychopath.
Yeah. Dude, Michael Thomas is just so consistent. It's ridiculous. And Aaron Jones. This week he actually had a good, efficient week on the ground.
Yeah.
But most weeks it's just like he had 3 last week. So he had like a bunch of monster weeks. Everybody's like, Aaron Jones this, Aaron Jones that. He gets 3 points. Everybody's like, oh, I hate Aaron Jones. He's terrible. He's overrated. Then this week he gets another monster week with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. He is getting, I put this in our show notes. Aaron Jones is scoring a lot. And he's punching the ball in literally every time he touches it.
14 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know. He punches it in every time he touches the ball in the red zone. If the freaking Green Bay, I'm telling you right now, if the Green Bay Packers turned to this guy full time, he would be Todd Gurley level from last year.
He would be. You know what stinks though? He has all the touchdowns. Devontae Adams, as a Devontae Adams owner, does not have a touchdown yet this season.
I feel like, and the other thing is, have you watched a Packers game in full?
I watched most of the last one.
They get inside the 5-yard line frequently.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't score.
And they run the ball.
And then they just run the ball
on
the goal line, yeah. And that's what not Kenyon Drake. Aaron Jones is getting all of the goal line carries. So that's what's happening. If you look at his goal line touches on a game-to-game basis, it is insane how many touches he gets in the red zone. It's ridiculous. So he's scoring a lot. I've noticed that this particular week, a lot of star players completely crap their pants.
Except, Dalvin Cook.
Except for Dalvin Cook. We'll talk about that on tomorrow's show on Booms and Busts. But it is so bizarre. We told you that our starts and sits, I don't even know if they were good or right, but that this was going to be an extremely weird fantasy week, and it was.
I think mine was good for the most part, except Mark Andrews.
Zeke had 7 points.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen. Saquon Barkley had 5. Up until the fourth quarter, Le'Veon Bell had 3, I think it was. And then he had I think he had one big run. I don't even remember, but... So a lot of players crap their pants. This is fantasy football. This is going to happen. This has been a weird season. I'll tell you right now. I'm going to get to January. I'm just going to spend an entire month dissecting what the frig happened and hope that next year we have slightly more consistency. It has been a weird season.
Yeah,
it has. I have not remembered fantasy football being this random in a long time. It's random. It usually is very random.
It is random, yeah.
But last year and the year before, it was very predictable. And this year, it's just so fluctuative. And I'm also noticing that the running back position is changing dramatically with every single team wanting to run RBBCs.
Yeah, which is not helping running backs.
Dallas has Tony Pollard, who's actually
and that's probably one of the best situations in the league.
Pretty talented.
For Zeke, I mean.
For Zeke, yeah.
Like, they're still using Tony Pollard, but, like,
yeah,
Zeke's still getting, like, 20-plus carries.
Oh, yeah, he's still getting his
touches.
touches.
Leonard Fournette probably is a workhorse.
But they drafted, well, no, Leonard Fournette is 100% a workhorse.
Yeah, he's a workhorse.
25 touches.
But, like, the teams that aren't using two running backs,
there's not many of them. Leonard
there's
Fournette is probably
there's like 3 or 4 teams, yeah.
Raquel Armstead
probably Dalvin Cook, right? But even they use
they use Alexander Madison a lot.
They do.
But you notice that a team like with Dalvin Cook, they drafted Alexander Madison probably with the mentality of if Dalvin Cook freaking hurts himself
getting injured, yeah.
But Tony Pollard was drafted in the 4th round by Dallas, and no one talked about that. That was not a thing that anyone talked about. But that's a pretty high-level draft pick for a running back.
No, it is.
Especially when you already got one who's making $90 million. So it's like that was kind of surprising. But everyone is shifting towards this new league with, backup running backs and RBBCs, and like it's starting to turn into a league where, like in the 2000s, it was literally like give the ball to one running back and go.
Let him get 30 carries.
Now it's like everyone and all 5 of our running backs need to be involved.
Yeah, no, seriously,
it ruins fantasy football. I'm gonna say we should just have total backfields be owned in fantasy football. Like you own defenses, you just own all of the running backs on one team.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then the only other thing is Mahomes is back and he's still good.
Yeah, he is good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's all right. He lost again for 3 straight weeks, but we're a fantasy football show, so that doesn't matter. So let's move into our Week 11 waiver wire ads, and we have some interesting guys here.
Yeah.
It's getting bare. Now, with the Devonta Freeman injury, he is expected to miss time. So I don't know much about the injury. I don't know what the MRI is going to come back with. But Brian Hill at the running back position.
Idaho Smith is also out for the year, isn't he?
Yes, Idaho Smith is out. So you have Brian Hill, who's owned in 1.9% of leagues, is going to be the starting running back, to the point where on Monday, Mr. Dan Quinn said that he trusts Brian Hill to take the full workload.
Wow.
You know what's stupid about this is that you have a talented running back in Devonta Freeman who's been an absolute garbage can this year. So that really does mean nothing for Brian Hill.
Yeah, but I mean,
he is going to be the back that gets literally all the work.
Yeah, so when Freeman went down,
that's good.
He had 20 carries. He wasn't good. He had 20 carries for 61 yards. But if he gets 20 carries every week,
David Montgomery.
If he gets 20 plus touches a week, he's definitely worth a pickup, and he could be a flex option on some weeks.
If he has like a ridiculous week where he scores 2 touchdowns and gets like 60 yards and 20 rushes,
yeah,
then that's sellable to an idiot in your league who's like, oh my god, I need the new breakout, I need the new thing, I need this new toy I didn't get off the waiver wire.
If you're super desperate, though, he could be a decent flex.
Yeah, he could be a decent flex for now. Is there anyone else that you noticed on the waiver wire?
Are we talking about running backs or just in general?
Just running backs.
So I'm looking at the list here. If Derrius Guice is available in your league, he should be picked up.
Yeah, we talked about
it.
And
then, but other than that, it's pretty much just handcuffing.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure. So. Is it TJ Johnson? Gosh, I don't even know.
TJ Johnson.
Who's the running? Ty Johnson.
Yeah.
Close enough. He got hurt in the first quarter, but I don't.
Lord.
I don't know.
Literally, Jai, he's saying, please sign me now.
Or they're desperate to bring Kerryon back in week 16.
Yeah.
Probably not, though. Let's see. Ty Johnson. I don't know what. Or how long. So it's a concussion, I think.
Oh, yeah. So he should be out for like a week.
Yeah.
That would be the projection.
So what does that mean? Is Mckissic worth a pickup?
I would say J.D. Mckissic is worth a pickup. He's only owned in 18% of leagues. He's a better pass catching back than he is a running back.
Well, that's going to help because I don't think he had a good week this week, but when Stafford comes back and he's a good pass catching back, and he'll probably get a little bit more of the workload, he could be a decent play.
Right.
or at least a decent pickup.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, I'm looking at this entire sheet, and I'm like, I'm not going to lie. A lot of fantasy football shows will be like, oh, get really excited about these waiver wire ads.
Well, we're in week 11
I
now.
just can't do it. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for somebody stupid to get dropped on our waiver wire in our league, and it hasn't happened yet.
I mean, you dropped Kareem Hunt. That was not a... Although even that's not really like... That sounds stupid, but...
Like, you're a clown. You dropped Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
He had 10 points. JD, yeah. So, I mean, I don't mind JD Mckissic. If you have the roster space and you can bring him in and you need to start... Because I know after week 12 when the bye weeks are over, waiver wire ads at this point are going to be essentially useless. This is why the strategy, I don't know why I didn't mention this earlier in our other waiver wire shows, but the strategy of keeping your waiver budget until the end of the season doesn't work.
Yeah, because at this point...
I had a person in our league bragging that they kept all their waiver budget. And I'm like, so who do you expect to break out in week 13?
The only hope that has for someone is if like Dalvin Cook tears his ACL,
and then you have all the waiver budget to go pick up like Alexander Madison,
right?
If the guy didn't properly handcuff,
which they probably didn't.
Yeah, but
or like even if McCaffrey tore his ACL, they don't have a backup.
But I'm like, why hold on to
if
your
Kamara
waiver budget?
did?
My thing is like, if a guy's gonna break out, he's gonna do it in the first 5 weeks. So you put your claims.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Especially week 1. I honestly think week 1 and week 2.
I spent 3/4 of my waiver budget in 1 month.
Yeah, no, I think the first 2 weeks of the season are the best weeks to go get waiver players.
Yeah, that's when you can be ridiculous. Later in the season, maybe you can hold off on that. But anyway, J.D. McKissic is a decent ad. Be sure to handcuff your guys. Peyton Barber had 11 points this week.
He had a goal line touchdown though, didn't he?
Yeah, he had 11 rushes for 43 yards and 1 touchdown. He wasn't that great.
I'm still not picking up.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. If you do have Kareem Hunt, which I doubt, on your waiver wire, I would pick him up. He was targeted 9 times, had 7 receptions for 44 yards. But that yard, yeah. I mean, that's cute, but the 44 yards is gross.
Yeah,
that's disgusting. He had 10 fantasy points. He scores a touchdown. He gets 16. So that's pretty good. I'm curious to see.
I think he can get like 10 a week, 10, 11 a week, and then if he gets a touchdown, that brings him up to 16, 17.
The question is, how many touchdowns does he score with the Browns?
Probably under 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's all I'll see. It's getting pretty bleak in the running back position.
Yeah.
Let's move to. Is there anyone else you want to talk about?
No. Go ahead.
Let's move to the wide receiver position. This one's a little more full late in the season. There's so many wide receivers that could be utilized. The guy that is the most talked about hot commodity, somebody commented on our video, one of our videos in week 3, making fun of us for not telling people to pick up Darius Slayton. But now Slayton has 14 targets, 10 receptions, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's a little bit different.
It's weird because Slayton has a lot of guys in front of him, or you would think. So Sterling Shepard, did he play?
I don't think he's played.
I don't think he did either. But he still has Golden Tate and Evan Ingram, and it's in an offense that's not exactly explosive.
Right.
But it seems like he's become Daniel Jones's favorite target, or close to it. And they threw the ball a lot in that game. I mean, you can't not look at 14 targets and be like, okay.
Yeah. But I like to wait for trends. Unfortunately, the waiver wire doesn't wait for trends.
No, it doesn't. He's going to get picked up, but I don't.
He had week 8, he had 22 points against Detroit. He had 1 point against Dallas, and then he had 29 points against New York in the last 3 games.
The 22 point against Detroit.
That was just 2 touchdown receptions.
He had 2 catches.
Yeah, I know.
Both of them were touchdowns.
He had 2 catches for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's disgusting.
When you looked at that, you were like, yeah, no, don't pick this guy up. I was definitely in the same boat.
But the 14 targets, you know how I am about players that get a lot of targets.
Right. It's not to me, he's obviously the number 1 waiver wire pickup of the week, no matter what. Like if you have your number 1 claim, I'm putting it in on this guy. I think if there is, we were just talking about how there's not late season breakouts. If there is any late season breakout that could happen, it's probably Slayton. The problem is there is a lot when Sterling Shepard comes back,
there's just a lot of
there's
Evan
a lot
Ingram
of
didn't play
weapons.
this week either. I forgot about that. So it was literally just only Golden Tate and Darius Slayton. So he was throwing the ball to those guys a lot. I mean, Golden Tate had a big week too.
Yeah.
I
think he had 22 points.
Right. So I don't know. I think he's worth a pickup, but I'm still not.
They're also going
I'm
into
still
a
not on the
bye.
train.
They're going into a bye, and then they play Chicago and Green Bay in week 12 and 13. But then his end of season schedule is Philadelphia, Miami, Washington. So
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. It just when Sterling Shepard comes back and Evan Ingram comes back, you're gonna start seeing some interesting situations happen for Darius Slayton. He's not gonna get a lot of targets. He's gonna you want him to work out, and it's worth a flyer in case something is there. But to me, he's just not. If you pick him up, we're gonna get. Oh God, I just want to note this. Fantasy football community, I love you. I love answering questions for you and helping you out and helping you. But if I get another freaking Brian Hoyer start-sit question, I might jump off a bridge.
You don't like Brian Hoyer? Brian Hoyer against the Dolphins.
I know, but I'm like, come on, people. Let's
get?
Relax. I don't even know. But I was like, if he had a good game, good for him. But I'm like, can we not with
right.
Brian Hoyer?
Can you guess over under 20 points?
I'm gonna say under.
Okay.
I'm gonna say under. I don't even know what he had.
7. He had 7 points.
You're welcome for telling you to start Jared Goff, whoever you are.
Oh, you said no.
I didn't. I didn't.
Okay, all right. Was it Jared Goff or Brian Hoyer?
I don't know.
Because he lost that week no matter what.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're if you had either one, you're toast. Yeah. So Slayton, number one waiver wire ad. Is there anyone else out here that you are looking at?
We've talked about Cole Beasley before. If you're in a deep league, he consistently gets like 8 to 12 fantasy points. So he's he's worth a pickup for sure. You can honestly pick and choose between the Steelers receivers at this point. Anyone not named Juju.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Mason Rudolph, I actually think that's kind of concerning for the future. He doesn't like throwing to the slot. He hates it. I'm starting to notice that. I'm like, dude, why do you not like throwing to the slot? Because he loves throwing.
Because he has a cannon of an.
He likes throwing it
like
to Deontay Johnson and James Washington.
People compare him. He's like the next Ben Roethlisberger, and Steelers fans are really hyped about him. And I get that. And he's a young quarterback. When I watch him, he just reminds me of Joe Flacco. So take that as
he just slings it.
Take that as
now Mecole Hardman is owned in 23% of leagues. Unfortunately, in our league, he's not owned. He's owned because some clown shoe doesn't know how to drop people on the bench, drop people off his team. He has like 3 quarterbacks right now, 3 freaking quarterbacks. Anyway,
so but even like Mecole Hardman,
yeah,
you know how many targets he's had in the last 3 weeks? He's played in every game.
What is it?
He's had 3 total targets in 3 games.
Wow.
And this week he had 16 fantasy points. He had 1 target.
So
it was a 61-yard catch for a touchdown.
Tyreek Hill on Sunday afternoon went down with a he looked like he was writhing in pain.
Oh yeah, it looked like he was.
It looked like he broke his collarbone again.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's not very good." I have a feeling, and I hate to say this because I don't like to be negative, but I have a feeling Tyreek Hill seems like he's been dealing with a lot of physical injuries this year.
He might have been, yeah.
So I'm feeling that I feel like Mecole Hardman is an okay. He's just ridiculous. He is like if he gets out in open space and catches a ball, which Mahomes can always hit guys open. He's just so fast you can't catch him. It's unbelievable.
He's similar to Tyreek Hill in that.
But
sense.
it's like he really you're gonna spend the whole game watching them going, why isn't Mecole Hardman catching a ball if you start him? But then he'll catch one for a touchdown for 60 yards and it'll be fine. You'll be like, oh, I'm happy with that.
I know we're not talking about Tyreek Hill, but I just looked at his numbers. You know, he had 19 targets this week.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Is that unreal? Thank God it was him and not.
You know, you said
Travis Kelce.
You said something the other week of like. Some people thought he would be the number 1 receiver in fantasy, and he's not going to be that, obviously. Right. But like since he's come back from injury, he's probably been second behind Michael Thomas.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's been a top 5 receiver. Top 4 out of the 5 weeks.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's a beast.
Anyway, yeah.
That's probably it for.
You don't want to pick up Auden Tate again?
No. Although Demarius Thomas might have overtaken Robbie Anderson for that outside spot.
Do you think that N'Keal Harry plays a game this week?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think N'Keal Harry should be owned.
Okay.
So take that as you will.
Yeah. New Josh Gordon, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's all. I would just say, yeah, James Washington's fine. Deontay Johnson's fine. I would take a speculative leap on Mecole Hardman in case. I don't handcuff wide receivers, but
I think that's what the guy in our league's doing.
Yeah,
if you look at
just
it,
handcuffing all.
because he's got Tyreek Hill. So
oh, flip. Anyway, yeah. So that's probably what we'll do for wide receivers. Let's talk about some tight ends. OJ Howard is out there. How did he do against Arizona? Because I thought he was a good play. I was like, this guy's okay.
Dude, I don't know why you said that. Because OJ Howard, all year
You don't know why, but look at the numbers, boss.
against Arizona.
He had 12 points.
Yeah, I know.
He caught a touchdown.
But
how many targets did he even have?
oh, it's because Arizona is the worst.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
That's what I was
So
telling
that's
you
why.
last week, and you
I
wouldn't.
know, but still,
you weren't
but
believing
because he's had less than he gets like 1 point a week.
Come on, if you don't have a tight end,
That's like saying
you might as well just hold your
That's
breath.
like saying who's the tight end on like the worst team in football.
I don't know, but
Who's it?
he had a good
So
team.
that's like saying, oh gosh, that's like saying starting the worst one of the worst tight ends in the
Getting
league
so
against the
flustered.
Cardinals just because they're good against tight ends. Like sure, that's or they're bad against tight ends.
No,
You would think that's a good play, but it's OJ Howard. He's been awful.
Yeah, I thought it was a good play because literally everyone against. See, here's the thing: is that if you're as bad as Arizona is against tight ends, do you think that a team would like write that into their game plan, no matter how much they?
Yeah, no, I guess.
targeted
Yeah,
O.J.
yeah,
Howard?
sure. Okay.
So that's why I told people
all right, cool.
to start. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not picking him up.
Yeah, I'm not. I was gonna say that I'm not picking him up. Who's he playing this week?
The Saints at home. That's actually not. I mean, it's not good, but it's not like.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm not. That's yeah. If you had your love with O.J. Howard and you started him this week, I would not start him. Now Kyle Rudolph had 2
ridiculous
touchdowns.
catch too.
4. Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns. I mean,
4. Wow, that's awesome.
2 touchdowns, 4 receptions for a grand total of 14 yards. So that means what is that? What is that average wise? 2.5 yards per catch.
Pretty much.
3.
Yeah, but that one-handed catch on the goal line wasn't that at the?
Oh, that was pretty good. Do you like Kyle Rudolph at all?
It depends week to week. He has to have a really good matchup, and it's better if Thielen doesn't play.
He has one in week 13, which is 2 weeks away against Seattle, and then.
But there's probably once Adam Thielen comes back, it's gonna just be.
Right. I just like. Well, it seems like there's a lot of waiver wire ads this week. For tight ends, but there's nothing out there that.
Chris Herndon, obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Chris Herndon, Ryan Griffin,
Yeah.
slash. No, I mean, is there anyone else out there that you want to add? Give me a tight end that you want to start this week.
Then want to start.
Yeah. Just.
Travis Kelce.
All right, let's move on. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's just not a lot of waiver wire ads. Let's talk about our QB streamers. We'll move on to the concluding factor in our show. My QB streamer for week 11 is Jimmy G v Arizona.
Okay.
If Jimmy Garoppolo, now I want to look this up right now because I actually don't know how much he's owned in leagues right now. I put him out there as a what is it called, a streamer, because he's placed in Arizona. Now Arizona gave up only 19 fantasy points to Jameis Winston, my stream of the week last week. So frick me. But he is owned right now in Yahoo leagues 82%, ESPN 51%. So he's owned in a majority of leagues. If he's not owned in your league, I would go check the waiver wire if you need to stream a quarterback. Say, oh, hey, Jimmy Garoppolo is available, and pick him up.
Fair enough. For me, I have one guy and I have another guy. So I actually have 2 guys.
Oh, boy.
My first, it's because you'll see. Because my stream of the week is Josh Allen against the Dolphins. He's owned in 70% of leagues, though. So if he's available in your league, if you're part of in NFL.com at least, I don't know what it is, cross platforms, or cross websites, I should say. But if he is available in your league, you should pick him up and start him this week against Miami. But chances are he's probably taken in your league. So somebody a little deeper down the list, I have Derek Carr.
You're not scared?
Against the Dolphins? No.
Yeah, dude, Miami has 2 straight wins.
Yeah. I'm I'm shook.
He's like, well, the Dolphins just decided they wanted to win. They were like, screw it, we're not tanking for Tua anymore. We're going for the playoffs.
I know. But yeah, my other guy is Derek Carr, who's owned in a lot more, or is not owned in a lot more leagues. He's in NFL.com. He's owned in 25% of leagues.
Okay.
So again, chances are he's available in your league. He's at home this week against the Bengals. It's a great matchup. The Bengals rank 30th against quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Derek Carr should have a very good week.
Okay.
Last time I said you should stream Derek Carr, you kind of laughed at me, and he got 22 points.
Shut up.
So
I don't want to hear it. That's actually not. Who is he playing again?
the Bengals at home.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad. Against Oakland?
The Raiders are home against the Bengals. So, yes. Why are you writing this down? Oh, because our league, yeah.
Got to go snag that defense.
Oh, that's...
No, I had Ravens D this week. I picked them up off the waiver wire, and they had 27 points against Cincinnati. So,
yeah, no, that was a great pickup.
Yeah. Anyway, that'll do it for our waiver wire ads and streaming options. Be sure to listen tomorrow as we discuss booms and busts from week 11. Go over some players you should buy, maybe some matchups for week 11. Don't forget to check out our website at thefantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Talk to you tomorrow, Fantasy Champs.
Peace out.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the FF Champs.